What to do when you have a long script that you are trying to memorize as a group, as a team, as sales reps, and you are like scheduled for doing your like script reading once a week. Where do you find the gaps, the cracks, and where do you find the time or the little inserts to connect better, right? To connect to the heart instead of the brain. A lot of times when we read scripts, it's very analytical. I remember I was doing bank mortgages in California and the scripts. We had an Indian manager. I don't even think he understood sales, but man, he was he didn't last too long. He was yelling at people. He had a big checkboard of whose stats were best and whose closing rate ratios and stuff like that. I remember they'd call in people every week and fire people. So where do we find that? The question comes from Janet. Asks all us sales reps run a 16 to 20 page sales script every Thursday. Every line, how to say it, where to pause, how to say rebuttals over their objections. Real dialing in. What could connected sales change? And is this really costing me anything? Well, the cool thing is we really hats off to you to answering or seeing connected sales and understanding that there could be some possibilities to increase your rates, how we're saying things, how we're dialing into the personalities, into the heart compared to reading a script. No matter what business you're in, whether it's going to be a salon business or fitness business or a real estate business, or you're selling merchandise or you're selling cars, insurance, or whatever it is, there's always going to be scripts. The really magic happens when we're saying like abracadabra, or we're saying, are you watching closely, right? Behind the scenes is connecting to the heart. How do we connect to people in such a cool way within the first 10 to 15 seconds, within those first few minutes, to connect to somebody and really have that cool understanding where you start to get that head nodding and everything like that? So let's cover this really quick. Like, honestly, it's costing you the one leg up. That's what my answer would be, Janet. It's costing you the one leg up if for your like company, right? The one thing that's will always make you like more commissions or like better like referrals and repeat customers, how to connect, right? Do they like you? Do they like understand you? Did you laugh together? Was there some commonality and stuff? Will you be able to get a call next week or the follower next month from their friend, right, referring them? That's really what it's really all about. I can't really calculate what it's costing the company overall because they didn't really hire me, right? In connected sales, we get a lot of like clients and agents, sales reps that are like the sellers for high ticket, like coaches, their insurance, or like reps for like real estate, or like a hair salon stylist that works for a business or like a big salon. So my goal and everyone's goal here at Connected Sales is to improve your commissions each day, each week, each month, right? And to capitalize and multiply that and make you better than your coworkers. So let's dial in to this a little bit. The 16-page sales script or 20-page sales script is means a few things, right? It means no matter who they are in front of you, you're saying the same things, right? You're saying the same things, and maybe that's going to hit, maybe it's not. Maybe you get a single mom that comes in and you're trying to sell that same script. Then you get a married mom that has two kids and you're trying to sell that script, right? Or you have a somebody in their 50s, right? So you're using the same script over and over and over. So no matter who they are, like what mood they're on, what personality they're, what like color they are, it gets the exact same like words to them. So there's not really selling. It's pretty much more reciting, right? You're almost like AI, you're almost like ChatGPT, right? You're just like reciting the words to a person in front of you, and hopefully they buy, right? Depending on your scripts, you probably have all types of objections and rebuttals and incentives and takeaways and stuff like that to make the sale at the end. So a few months ago, I was training a team, a really cool team. His name was Rod, and they were in the investment niche. So they were like Merrill Lynch, right? It was a more or less like a company, give me your money and I'll invest it for you. So they had a script similar to yours, Janet. That's why I'm bringing this up. It was very very long, it was wordy, and it reminded me of my old bud Nunzio from the 80s. Take no nose, make sure that you have like every single one of their objections and you need to have a rebuttal. I'm going to talk to my wife. We have a rebuttal for that. So I'm going to think about it. We have a rebuttal for that. Let's see. It's not the right time, right? We have a rebuttal for that. I can't afford it. We have a rebuttal for that. There's usually when Brian Tracy and Ben Gay, they usually say there's 7 or 8 in every niche, right? So you have your rebuttals and your reframes and your redirects, your feel, felt, founds, and a slew of others that we force the win. It's almost like a boxing match, right? So they really liked my connected sales, the heart and the dialing into the heart a lot. But Rod had a lot of reluctancy. I should say like a ton of reluctancy to change because they said this script was their best script for the last like 4 or 5 years. So due to time and being only with the team and Rod for like 2 days, added one heart connect at the very beginning, one heart connect in the middle, and one at the very end. And that was it. It was just 3 simple things. So some little add-ons to their script, but we can connect in there. And so Rod said, okay, this is doable, right? I know everyone was going to get on board with this. We didn't make it too difficult. I didn't tell them to read or redo their scripts or read these scripts over and over and over. So just 3 simple add-ons to connected sales and really dialing into like the heart, the understanding, like Bob, right? And we get to understand the person, walk in their moccasins, compared to the script pretty much already was Nunzio. It's a script. It's written, right? You're scripted over and over and over. You tested on it. Janet, you said you were scripting these things every Thursday, every week, probably drilled on this, probably spread out in little groups to say, read it this way, what did the other person think and stuff like that. So that's that. So he said, okay, everyone can get on board on that. So we had 2 days, and within 400 calls, around 400 calls with their reps, what really happened for the magic, the connected sales? Their prospects felt more heard and understood. Their prospects said things like, me too, you're right. And they nodded with an agreement a lot more than the reps said they did in the past. And people can hear the difference like instantly. The second a prospect feels like they're being like read a script, it's almost like a lot of people will tune out, right? Because they've heard it before. They just trying to listen as the time goes and hear the mumble of whatever's next in the sales presentation. So they can hear that, right? And they like check out. So they might politely say, they might stay on the Zoom call. They might like still give you little nods here and there. They might stay on the phone as well or things, but that's really what's happening. There's like they check out. So Janet, what's your closing rate? That's what I would like to know on yours for here. What's your closing rate for your other sales reps and the company? Do you have like your stats and your like closing rates? I'd be interested to know that. So here's really what's missing. There is no like page in the script for understanding the individual's motives, right? How they think, how they underline things, how they make decisions, their beliefs, their desires. We were talking a little bit about if they have children, they're going to be driven a little bit more with like family and like 5 or 10-year plans than somebody that's not married and stuff like that. So there's no moment built in for things like if a person's moving fast, what to do, a person moving slow, what to do. Sometimes we talk about the bigger picture or what's the driving force behind what we're talking about, but how it relates to them and stuff. So we get rid of the one size fits all, and we tailor a script and put in these sections to dial into the heart for connected sales. We talked about pauses, like in silences. A lot of people don't know this, and I would love to cover this too, since the question is here. Did you know that each color has a different feeling and what we call criticism for how short or how long a pause is, right? When we have an internal person, at somebody like a blue or a green, they're introverted, right? So they're naturally going to tend to have more longer pauses. And inside that, they're not going to judge those longer pauses. Now, let's just say we're working with a red, right? They have a lot of like straight talk, fast, quick decisions. So a long pause for them would be on the lines of like unliked, right? It would be the unliked, or they would be questioning that. And that's what we call it. They have it like a criticism for that. So that's another thing for that, Janet. If I sat down with you, Janet, I would tell you to, we'll have to redo that. If I sat down with you, Janet, I wouldn't tell you to rewrite the 16 pages, right? We can't really do that with the corporation stuff. So I wouldn't tell you to rewrite those 16 pages. I'd ask you, where is the gaps and the little cracks that you can comfortably fit inside your sales scripts, like inside this guidelines of your company you work for, right? Their scripts and who created it and all the training that goes behind it, because you don't want to go to these like weekly script meetings and be told you can't do this, you can't do that, don't say that, right? That's not allowed. Or you start adding things and everyone starts using those and you get no benefits from it. So it's like a really like gray line, and we're walking on tiptoes for your compensation or an increase of pay for what you're learning and incorporating in your sales process and how you want to put that inside of your script, right? Ultimately, we get to a point where a lot of my social posts have either me in a closet or me by a fire pit with a huge stack of books, right? And it's basically, we want to get off script, almost like an actor in a movie, right? It's going to take probably 3 weeks or 4 weeks to really dial those lines over and over, day, night, mornings, just drilling his lines so he's off the script. So that's ultimately one of our goals for Connected Sales. How quick can we get off the script? Once we start getting off the script, we find these little nuances, little cracks and crevices that we can interject some statements for Connected Sales, connecting to the heart that I've built as far as the personalities, and I get a good understanding of a person, their wants, their needs, their desires, and like their motives. So that would be a lot of the suggestions that I would have, right? We want to try to get off script. We want to burn the book so you don't sound robotic, right? And you don't sound, I know a lot of people with the long scripts also will, if they miss a line and stuff, they get nervous, they get high anxiety, and then they're lost because they're like, oh man, I missed this paragraph, which led to this paragraph when I was interrupted when the person asked, how much is it? Or hold on 1 second, I got to take this phone call, right? So keep that in mind. So great question, Janet, and anyone else. Click on the calendar page down below, schedule your strategy session with one of us here at Connected Sales. We can help you design your scripts, your connection methods, helping you increase your rates. Since like COVID, it's been slowly going down and down. Now with AI and ChatGPT and Claude, and right, we're losing the connection of saying hello to our neighbors, right? Going down the street and getting a burger and saying hello to the person. Usually everyone's heads are in their phone, and on the meetings, it's getting tougher and tougher to make some long lasting connections. That's why I love Connected Sales. It's great for relationships. It's great for building connections. It's great for sales, and it's great for like family as well. Sons, daughters, husbands, wives, and things like that. So hope that helps for you, Janet, and anybody else. Schedule a link down below for Connected Sales. We could schedule a strategy session where one of us would run you through what we do for Connected Sales, how it can improve your sales for the long term. So have a great afternoon, and we will see you on the next one.